to have this very experienced speaker with us. He asked me to mention to you that he has got a little bit of a sore throat. But let me tell you a bit about him. He was born in Woodstock, New York. He's the youngest of 4 brothers. So, of course, he grew up surrounded by stories. And he said probably some of them were true. He's a journalist and he studied literature. And, of course, he's absolutely passionate about storytelling. Yes, he went to college in the 70s and managed to pay attention. So, will you please give a very, very warm welcome to Mr. Jack Vincent with Coffee and J.K. Rowling.
If I could have coffee with J.K. Rowling, I'd ask her one question. Now, as the slide catches up with me, you may think of Harry Potter as high school kids getting out of trouble with magic wands, but it really is the great writing of our time. It is classics, contemporary classics. J.K. Rowling, coffee. We're going to have coffee with her. Now, great stories are actually, what they are is, aside from many, many, many components, they deal with the timeless and universal condition of human nature. Timeless from Shakespeare's time and even before that. Sitcoms, for example, are a formula. So you may say, formula writing? That's not very creative. But actually, formulas let us get really creative within a certain boundaries. Friends. These are business case studies, for example. Now, I developed this case study model, and it's really just a formula. But if you stick with it, you will have successful stories in your businesses. Remember, you are not the hero. You are the mentor. Now, starting with some fundamentals before we get to the hero's journey. The setting. It's not enough to say this was the place. You need the hook. But today, something was different. It was a normal evening on Privet Drive, but something was lurking in the shadows. Know who your character is. Know who is the hero. Many people start writing stories, but who is the main character? And who is the antagonist? Because your main hero is only as interesting as the antagonist makes him. And then, without plot, without struggle, there's no story. No struggle, no hero. And a plot is a series of escalating conflicts. Remember that, because I have to come back to that at the end. And of course, theme. This is la pièce de résistance. This is really, which can take you from good to great. And I'm going to actually save it for the end. Theme is what it's all about. Now, your hero. Do not think of your hero as bulletproof. Here he is to save the day. Your hero is struggling. That's part of it. Okay? Your hero has to struggle, and he or she is uncertain. So, this is the money shot. Take the 4 points that I mentioned before, overlap these into it at different intervals, and this is really what it's all about. This is what makes it all so compelling. You are a sucker to this in so many movies, okay? So there is the call to adventure when Harry follows Hagrid out of that lighthouse, weird kind of place. Or when Neo is on the computer in the Matrix and code Matrix. What's this all about? Then there is the resistance to the call. The hero does not want the job. But the world will go to hell, and he or she knows it. I can't do it. Okay, the world will go to hell. And at some point, they take the red pill or the blue pill. At some point, Harry follows Hagrid out of the lighthouse and says, I'm in. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm in. There's no way back after crossing. And of course, finding the mentor. Now, the mentor is not perfect. We find out at the end of Harry Potter that Dumbledore is seriously flawed. We don't know that until the end. Okay? Morpheus, what a great name in the Matrix. Morpheus, change. He actually changes. So then you go through the plot. Okay? You have all of this conflict, and it all builds up to the final one in which they find the gift. It could be the Horcrux, it could be the ring, but actually It's something that they learn. Harry learns that about love. But then, got one more thing to do, is the journey home. Have any of you ever lived abroad for 2 years and then you go back to your quiet little hometown and nobody really cares? You know? And it's that's part of the struggle too. When it's over, it's the struggle. And then we come to theme. This is the boil a million words down to 3. And this is why she wrote it. This is the moral of the story. This is the purpose. So I read all 7 books to my kids, 1,080,000 words, and there was a scene in which Dumbledore says, "Don't pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living, especially those who live without love." So if I could have coffee with J.K. Rowling, I would ask her one question. Is the theme to Harry Potter love conquers all? Harry is surrounded by love. Voldemort has never had love. They have so many things in common, the parcel tongue, the orphans, but Harry is surrounded by love. So, my fellow Igniters, go out, tell stories, tell them with love, because it does conquer.